There we go. Go ahead, Mickey got all bigger. There we go. All right, everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome on back to the All Out Podcast. I'm your host, Disbearity, or you can call me Sean. How's it going, everybody? Um, Hope that you guys have been having a good day today. We have a special guest here, which is my father here. He goes by the name of Henry. Daddy, would you like to introduce yourself for us?
In terms of what?
Well, just like let people know who you are and what kind of stuff like that.
Well, like this. My name is Henry Marshall. I was born in Vicksburg, Mississippi. I just turned 62. I basically worked for about 47 years. So I did 10 and a half years in the military, federal. I did 10 and a half years federal government. So that was like 20 some years or more. Did 18 years with Motorola and IBM up in Austin, Texas. I just retired about a year and a half ago from the federal government. And just like you were saying that you wanted to quit. Well, my last probably about 2 years with the federal government, I was making $65 to $70-some thousand, but money ain't everything because I almost kind of say I hated it because where we lived there, we live in Louisiana, but our plants that we worked at was in Mississippi. So me and my wife worked together, so we had decent jobs. But we was driving probably about 150 miles round trip every day, working 10 and a half hours every day, leaving home at 5 o'clock in the morning, not getting home till 7:15 at night, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and during the summertime, we worked Saturdays. We was USDA food inspector for chickens. So them chickens y'all was looking at and been eating, well, I hadn't been looking at it for the last year and a half, so glad y'all alive, though. But that was a lot of work. Just like you, we had supervisors. Like I say, our thing we worked for the federal government, but we worked in different plants. So we had a boss that was a doctor, and then we had bosses that worked for the plant people. So we had 2 or 3 different people. And like I say, we did our jobs. We had plant people that worked for us. So as you can understand that, when you make like the type of money we make, and then the plant people really wasn't making a lot of money, and they was basically being dogged, they kind of like, not like you, but they had to kind of like you, which in actuality, most of the time you had good people, and it wasn't about they like you or not. Whole idea about you treat people right, they work for you. So my whole thing is, it wasn't the people. I got along with the people, but when you work for the government, I don't know. I guess because they think they pay you good money, they think they can dog you. So basically, I had 2 more years to make my full 20, but I was gonna curse somebody out and get in trouble. So I took it upon initiative to take an early retirement, and it's been good. Other than the fact that soon I retired, COVID-19 came in. So basically, let me open the door for my wife. Hold a second.
All right.
Oh, snap.
Not Disbearity.
So basically, this is the first time me and my wife has been able to get out since probably October 2019 when we came back from Chicago. So we're in Florida, enjoying that Florida sunshine. But like I say, Sean is my youngest, but he could be making more money, but that's not the point. My middle child name is Ashley. She's worked for Texas Department of Public Safety. My oldest child is smart. She's got a associate and a BA. Smarter than all of us, but Sean is smarter than all of us. But I don't understand why he's making a lot of money though. But that's my life, and I've been married to my wife now, my second wife, for almost 12 years. We've been together almost 16. So that is my life story. But I'm retired, and that's all y'all need to know.
So in today's topics, by the
that's
way,
my story, and I'm sticking with it.
where we gonna? So in today's topics, by the way, y'all. So today's topics are going to be about racism in America. We're going to be talking about streamer Twitter. Then we're going to be talking about the Twitch stuff changes and also the changes with the tags and stuff. Then last but not least, the esports, or basically internet. Well, what do you call gaming esports in this in high school and stuff like that. So what were you going to ask me, by the way, before we go ahead and jump on in this? You wanted to ask me something?
Oh no, I was gonna say, didn't I tell you and I think Ataki was there too earlier that all money ain't good money?
Yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you did say that though. You did say that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I told you, man.
Um. So first off, if you guys have any questions in the chat, make sure to post down. Definitely post down the questions in the chat. We'll answer them as we can. But also, do y'all have any other questions in my for my father about what's racism for him when growing up and stuff? Y'all have any questions? Anybody want to start out?
All right. So since I know you was born like I think in the
I was born in 1958.
1958. So um during the time when you was growing up to your early younger years, do you see some of the atrocities that was going on and that make you want to understand at the time? Like how severe it was going the time when you were growing up?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. You may think I'm lying to you, but I was born in the deep South, Vicksburg, Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, growing up, I had a good childhood. We integrated school with the whites, probably about 1970, 71. Basically, everybody got along. Probably was a small city at the time, probably about 15 to 20,000. It's probably about 50 to 60,000 now, but people got along. I ain't gonna say everybody got along because that just ain't gonna happen. But the type of people that I went to school with, they wanted it to work. And in terms of racism, I really didn't see that. You may think I'm lying. I didn't. I never had a white person come in my face and call me the N word. I never had. Well, in terms of if I was fighting somebody, but that's not the point. But in terms of just just living and growing up, we had a good childhood. Like I say, Vicksburg people got along. My mom worked for an older white lady that treated her like a daughter. My aunt worked for older white people that she needed any damn thing, they gave it to her. I'm gonna tell you this straight out. In terms of racism, I say more racist in our black population toward each other in terms of growing up than I did in terms of white people. But like I say, I lived in Vicksburg. I didn't live in other places in Mississippi. Uh, and dealing with when I went to the army at 17 in 1976,
Mm-hmm.
my best friends in the military were basically white people. That's crazy, but my good friends too were black. But like I say, one thing about the military and civilian life, the military is all about brotherhood. Civilian life is all about I guess like in a clique. What are you
Mm-hmm.
doing? How much money you make? What type of car you drive? I saw most of that when I worked at IBM for like almost 18 years up in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But like I
Mm-hmm.
say, growing up in Mississippi, I very rarely saw any type of racism. I see more racism and hear about more racism now in the 21st century than see like I did in the last 20 to 30 years. I don't know what the hell is going on, but this America that I'm seeing now, we lost a lot of great leaders up in the 60s and 70s, and maybe the leaders that we have now or had 10, 15, 20 years, maybe not stepping up enough, but it's too much hatred going on in America, and y'all may see
Mm-hmm.
that more in terms of y'all being younger than I have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I
Mm-hmm.
feel it. I understand. Understandable.
Any other questions?
Yeah, how do you feel about the current government system?
Well, I put it like this, I don't want to be no racism, but, well, when Trump got elected, I'm going to tell you like this, we was coming home at about 12 o'clock that night, and when we got home, we said, God dog, we can't wait to get home because we know Trump's going to get his ass beat. And to get home, probably about 12:30 and 1 o'clock, and found out that Trump probably going to win, that was kind of crazy because, like I said, I have nothing against Trump. I really didn't know too much about him, other than the fact that I know he wasn't going to make a good president, but that's not the point. You always have to give a person the benefit of the doubt. But one thing I did not like about Trump is he pushed too much hatred, too much nationalism, white nationalism, and all white nationalism is just being racist, being part of, not the, put it like this, Trump is like, I was in Berlin, Germany for almost 15 months. So I was there, not there in terms of Hitler, but I saw and read and we knew what Hitler did back in Nazi Germany. So to be able to touch the Berlin Wall or see it. I was in Korea. When I first went to the military, I touched the DMZ. I patrolled inside the DMZ from North to South Korea. So I did a lot of stuff from 17 to 21. And to me, America is always going to be the greatest country in the world because, like I said, I love what I did. I love the military. But when I did my tours and it was time to come back home, I was happy to come back to the world. We call it the world, to the States. So what I saw in terms of military, the military is more of an equal type of a system. It's more like do your job, do it, know your job, do it, and respect others. And this system we got now, you got the Democrats hate the Republicans hates the Democrats. Nobody's working together. Unless we all work together, everything will never get passed in terms of everything's supposed to be like this, but for anything to ever get accomplished, we have to sit down and work together. And for whatever reason, that's not going to happen. Not with Biden. And what's crazy is I'm thinking by him being elected president, and he has been in Congress for 30, 40 years, they will be able to work together. But as you see, and everybody see, no one's doing that.
So when it comes to like nowadays, like I said, the black community, we're very divided as a community. Some people want this, some people want that. How do you view the Black Lives Matter situation with everything that's been going on? How do you see that?
In terms of me, Sean?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Dad.
Okay. Well, I was very proud. I don't know, did you step up? And I'm sure you did. I was very proud that Veronica and her friends, everybody stepped up, and went out there, I guess, protested or was singing, We didn't do it up here because I'm too old. I was kind of worried to get out there with COVID-19. But we did show our face when we had to. The Black Lives Matter, yeah, all lives matter. I'm going to tell you like this, all life matters, But like I say, we are killing each other. This is just black on black crimes, And then now you have the policemen. Seems like every time you walk out the door, you see or hear how the policemen are killing black people, but they're also killing other people. And now that a lot of stuff is being videoed, you've seen that, but also a lot of times it's being covered up. I'm 62 years old, and every time I get in my car, I am worried that I may not come home, And I shouldn't be like that. I'm a veteran. I work for the federal government, but that doesn't matter. But one thing I do, and I tell everybody, if you ever get stopped by a policeman, do what they tell you, and you pray to God that will keep you alive. But also, I show respect. Yes, sir. No, sir. I don't care if you're 25 years old. I'm gonna say that to him. Now, if he having a bad day and want to do other things, that's side the point. I cannot do anything about that. But I will show him respect, and I'm hoping he show me respect.
Any other questions for anybody or from anybody?
Do you feel like it's going to be a positive change with Biden in office?
Well, to me, he wants to work with people. But the deal is, what's amazing, if you know anything about Congress, he's supposed to work with McConnell, supposed to work with the dude from South Carolina. All of them work together. But I don't know what Trump done to them, but they act like they don't care. They act like they have not worked with Biden before. And I think, like I say, he can have them at the White House. They can sit down and talk about it. But when President Obama was elected president, I don't know what the hell happened, but they said from day one they was not going to work with Obama. And basically anything that got done, it got done through Biden working with the Congress people. And now that he is our president, you would think he would have a lot more pull in terms of them working a good relationship. But my thing is they're not going to work together, and you have the votes, forget about this bipartisanship. Do what you got to do to make America. Yeah, we heard it, make America great again. I could kill that. Just make America the great country it's supposed to be. Because if America is not up there and doing what it's supposed to do, All the other countries are not going to do what they need to do.
Okay, so when it came to the Black Lives Matter movement, at least for me, I see it as I love the sentiment of Black Lives Matter, but the overall the issue is that with the looting and stuff, as a organization, like how did you feel about the looting and what people were doing in that time during that time?
Well, you got to understand too. You had probably people looting. That's going to happen no matter what. But you also, if they investigate a little bit further, they had a lot of people was being paid to do that. A lot of people was being paid to destroy and burn things down. So the Black Lives Movement, it did something because, like I say, you had if you heard anything over the last year, more people protested in terms of the Black Lives Matter this last year than ever have before. But like I say, for us doing all that last year, has anything basically been accomplished? And right now, I really don't see anything that really has been accomplished.
And that's and like within the discussion here, with the whole movement and stuff, a lot of people don't know about this person here because they don't want to look it up. So me and my father, like I said a week ago, we had spoken about this this white dude. He went by the name of Tony Tempa. And as you guys know if y'all don't know if y'all never heard who he is, he was a white dude who was, I believe he was schizophrenic, and he died in a similar fashion to George Floyd. Except here's the kicker though, a couple years down the line, his mother, yes, his mother was a white woman. She had said that his son never got the recognition that George Floyd the way that George Floyd did. And like I said, this was a white man that died in a similar fashion. Now, how do you feel about that? When that happened?
And you asking me that question, John?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Well, when I read about it, like when we talked about it, I guess about a week ago, and like the mom said, her son died basically the same way as George Floyd. But like me and you talked about, one thing that George Floyd had, and I ain't gonna say had, he died, rest in peace. You had people with cell phones. You had people that was videoing. And that was the only thing that made this, in terms of his life, made it something that we saw. Because for them to do what they did, almost 9 minutes or more, that was not right. And what's so bad about it, if any of those people would have forcibly tried to move those policemen, they probably could have got shot, beat up, or the same thing. And like this woman said, her son had died basically the same way. And so they need to do something in terms of his life. It mattered also. So I don't know if those policemen or anybody that was involved with all of that, have they been held accountable? But everybody that was involved in what happened to him should be held accountable, just like they're going to make these people accountable for George Floyd.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any more questions for my father?
That's wow.
Yeah. And that's crazy that something like that has happened. Now, how do you feel about, because I see a lot now. This is something that's been recent. Oh, you gonna say something, Riddler?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I actually do have. What's your opinion about the organization itself? Not the movement, just the organization of BLM.
Well, what I found out, and I think I read this, you got to have somebody that's, I don't know, high-ranking and understanding what we're trying to do in terms of, like, everything got to do with, like, money. I just read something about, I don't know this woman's name, I didn't look it up, but I read something about she was over some type of money and ended up spending it on herself and utilized for other things in terms of what it needs to be used for. If we're going to be doing this and you want people to get involved, it's got to be legal. You got to have faith in what you're doing, because if I'm going to send you money, I don't want it to be going for you to go get you a $50,000 Jaguar or go get you $1 million home. I want you to use it for educating people. Like they keep saying, defund the police. Well, it's not you want to take stuff away from the police, but just like Sean said, that man that he called the police on himself. In less than 1 hour from the time he called the police on himself, in terms of what was going, he was dead. And you have money, and you can use some of this money. It needs to be used for people that know in terms of medical people or social people to go with the police. Maybe you can't have them on call 24/7, but the policemen are scared. When they go somewhere, they're going to, just like in the military, when they did when all this stuff was going on at the White House, and I know everyone saw it, Trump then they wanted the regular army. You don't use the regular army, you use the National Guard. The regular army, I was regular army, John Wayne, shooting, learning how to kill people, That's our job, is to kill people, not to go up there and break up stuff. Yeah, they know how to do that because that's part of the training. But you gotta educate people. You gotta have people that understand is if we're trying to do something in terms of Black Lives Matter, let's continue to do it, but let's do it right. Let's talk to people. Let's get minister involved. Let's get pastor involved. Let's get the Jewish people involved. Let's get anybody that has some type of power and recognition. Because, like I say, if we don't know who's involved with this, we're not gonna send money up. We're not gonna sit down and educate people because you know what? I'm just like everybody else. I'm saying, why am I gonna send this money up? Where is it going? So let's get involved and let's get the right type people in the right type leadership position.
So here's the thing. As of recently, what do you feel like is the most like prominent thing in America? This is for you, Dad, again. Like the prominent problem in America. So within the Black community, whether it's online or around the world or whatever you go, I hear this a lot, where a lot of Black folks say that the problem is right now is white supremacy. What do you feel like is the most prominent problem that we have here in America? Like, to me, I feel we have more issues than white America. Or I'm sorry, let me take that back. We have more, than white supremacists. But a lot of people, in my opinion, don't understand that. But what do you feel about that? How do you see that?
I think our problem is we're not educated. My mom, I think she had quit school at about 4th grade, 5th grade. My dad graduated, but my mom went back to school, bless her heart, rest in peace, and got a GED. And from her, I learned hard work. Our problem is, as a Black community, there's so many women that's trying to raise these young people. They churning by themselves. You can't do that. Yeah, you can, but a woman can only do so much, and they do the best they can. I was blessed to have a 2-parent home. I truly was blessed, because anytime people ask me about my parents, I say, yeah, I have a mom and dad, and they say, for real? And to me, that was the craziest thing I ever heard, But we have to educate ourselves. We have to love each other, because like I say, it's more, I ain't gonna say it's more prejudice in the Black community, but we have prejudice toward each other. So it ain't the white man so much that's doing things, it's we're doing things to ourselves, because like I said, we don't care about each other. We don't know each other. When I growing up in Mississippi, we knew my neighbor to my left, my neighbor to my right, 2 houses down, 3 houses down, 4 houses, all the way up. Now, we don't know each other because we don't even speak to each other. And all we do is talk about each other, So, but like I say, more has to do with education. I think more has to do with knowing each other. Because the deal is, if you know each other, you're going to look out for each other and you're going to care about each other.
Now, because we had discussed about a week ago that the thing with especially the Black community is that, and you don't see this within the Asian community, you don't see this within the white community, you don't see anybody within the community, but you see this more prominent in the Black community. Is that yes, we are racist to each other. It's because the most recent thing has been if you guys probably heard of the term colorism, where a person, I don't know, in the colorism isn't a. It's a similar fashion to how India does with the caste system. If y'all ever learned about the caste system, basically, if I recall, in India, if you are dark, the darker you are, you're at the bottom tier of the caste, and the lighter you are, you're at the the greater tier. And so, what do you feel about that with the caste system? And well, not with the caste system, but with the colorism and stuff.
Well, I'm just saying, look at us. in our community, you have light skinned blacks, you have dark skinned blacks, you have brown skinned blacks. Just like you remember Mama Audrey in New Orleans. She's like my second mom. Mama Audrey is black, but she white. You wouldn't know that. So, but the deal on that is we have so much prejudice towards each other just because of the color of our skin, our hair, the way we look and stuff. But that goes back to if you were light skinned, you was in the big house. If you was black, you was out there picking cotton, you know. And that's still just like with India. If you got money and you light skinned, you basically gonna have them good job. If you dark skinned, you're gonna be basically gonna be out there in the field begging, you know. But that's just that's the have and the have nots.
All right, here's another question for you. So, as you know, as what happened earlier this was it? I believe, yeah, earlier this year. What do you feel about Asian rights and stuff, or Asian lives matter? I'm sorry, with that how that went on, because there's a lot of things. Because when that because the crazy thing about it is, especially between black and Asian people, there's been a lot of tendencies between each other, because people will never report, and that's crazy that they'll never report if anything happens to an Asian person, but if a black person happens, they report it. How do you feel about that? Because this was just this is just recent, with the guy sadly shooting Asian women. So how do you feel about that?
What are you talking about in Atlanta?
Yes.
At the the deal on that is, I think in terms of the hatred towards that, I'm gonna tell you a lot has to do with when the coronavirus came out in about December, January, and our president Donald Trump had a lot to do with that in terms of the anti-Asian, because like I said, he kept calling it the China virus or the Asian virus or whatever he was calling that. As president of the United States, you're supposed to be bigger than that, and he wasn't bigger than that. He was a small person, and he played into hatred towards people, and by him doing that, and like I said, you already got hatred anyway. You got people thinking like blacks or Asian or brown people or whatever taking these jobs. No, they're not taking these jobs. You don't want the job, but because you have somebody telling you this, and you're not intelligent enough to understand that, you know what? Everybody has the right to be here. Hell, the only people that had the right to be here was the American Indian. Everybody else came from another damn country, And so by promoting hatred like Trump did, and it's not just Trump, not everybody, but when you promote hatred, it's hard to take it away once it's said. And by people going out shooting people just because they look different than you, beating people because you have people going around beating up on Asian, or just because they're Asians is not right. But the deal is, you have to preach education. You have to stop this, but you have to make it put like this: you must punish people, and you must punish people harshly for when this happened, and not give them a slap on the wrist. Because, like I say, this has been going on forever, but it's been really going on for this last year and a half in terms of the virus. But like I said, when you have President of the United States of America, the most powerful man in the world, getting on TV every day like he was, promoting hatred, it's kind of hard not to stop hating people,
Yeah. Twilight or Mr. Waffles, do you guys have any questions here for my father to answer?
I got nothing. He's answered everything I was wanting to ask.
That's good. What about you, Twilight?
I don't think I have any questions.
Okay.
So I'm on vacation, so that sounds like it's over with.
It was a good
time for break time. No, I'm good. You got 30 more minutes. I'm good.
I appreciate you coming on through and talk to us about this, because it's a big thing that's been going on here, within the States, is that it's like you want to see us do better, but you can't do better because we're always what I always tell people is that it always comes down to like education. Like, you need to be educated. You can't just sit there
Yep.
and blame it on other people, because if you blame other people, that's not your own personal growth. You're not going to improve, you know, in your life, your livelihood. The thing is, what I always tell, at least in my belief, is that you have this government here, who this government is, in my personal opinion, is built on a oligarchy type of government. And so, and if y'all don't know what oligarchy is, that's basically where the rich and powerful are are the people that are in power. Sure, we might have a president, but at the end of the day, it's not about us, because there's lots of dealings and politics involved. And so when you have people getting educated and you know getting educated, you don't the rich and powerful, they don't want that. They want to, that keeps people divided. And a lot of people seem to not really understand that, because it's always like, especially right now, with the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff. It's like I said, I love the sentiment. I really do. I love it. I do. But the people are looking for to be superior. They're looking to be the opposite. You know, and to me that's crazy. You know, but what do you feel about that? Do you feel like people just of any race should be superior than the other, or no? How do you feel about that?
Oof.
That's for you, Dad. That's for you.
Oh, thank you. Now, well, in terms of, like you say, education is powerful, and when you have education, like I said, I'm thankful that Veronica got her degrees. I'm thankful, well, Ashley don't have hers, but you know what? She's smart just like you are,
Yeah.
And I almost got my associate. So, but the deal is, at the time when I was going to school, I had two kids probably at the time, working at IBM, working Saturdays and Sundays. So, in a way, I was privileged in terms of my jobs, because I will say I've been blessed, because I done worked for major companies, military, federal government, IBM, Motorola. So I have been blessed, but also been blessed.
Mhm.
I have also been around educated people too. But also, being they was educated, that didn't make them smart. Also, it made them educated. And the deal is, I found out when I worked for IBM, and like I said, I wore blue jeans and worker. I was a worker, manufacturing. But every now and then, we had to go over to the other building. That's where your scientists, your administrator, your
Mhm.
secretaries, your clerk, they work. And I found out, in terms of, I ain't gonna say prejudice, my prejudice looked like towards me when I walked over there, and I was different in terms of how I dressed. It was more toward the black people looking at me like, what are you doing over here? In terms of, let's say, the white people.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it, like, just getting back to everything, you don't know nothing about me. I was going to school at the time. I went to school for almost 6.5 years on my GI Bill. I was working at an Army Reserve once a month. I was working
Mhm.
50 some hours a week at Motorola. So I was trying to better myself. They didn't know that. And I understand that. But
Yeah.
the major thing is if we don't educate each other, we don't know that. If we don't talk to each other, we don't really understand each other. And like I
Mhm.
say, I've been blessed to was in Korea 12, 13 months. I was blessed to be in Berlin, Germany for 15, 16 months talking. I'm black American. I'm talking German a little bit. I'm talking African to African. But I saw the world. But the deal is, I saw, just because we're different, that don't mean we can't understand each other. But you have to want to understand the other person religion, understand that person faith, understand anything about them. And like I
Hmm.
say, we live in a world just like in America. We have the have and the have not. And you also have the middle class. But the deal is, though, everybody's different. But we have to see each other, though. You know what? I'm not about the color of your skin. I'm about how you treat me. You
Hmm.
respect me, like I think I said earlier, I'm gonna respect you. And it has nothing to do about the color of my skin.
Hmm.
Amen to that. And also, I also feel like, from my experience, I don't know if this may seem prejudice, but I I remember one time back in 2012, I was in the deeper part of the neighborhood, deeper part of a certain neighborhood here in Memphis called South Memphis. called Riverside. Um, the thing is that while during the time that I was living there, we was living in the house. Um, I always never really always mess with people on my street. You know what I mean? Like I always like to go to the library and just be there because I had a laptop at the time, and before this was like way before I got the setup I have now.
Mhm.
And every time I come down, I was like, I'm just minding my business. My little brother, Jamal Arcus, told me, man, many people think you're gay because of pretty much it. I'm like, what? Why? Because you don't be talking to no one. I'm like, really? Really? So you're
Mhm.
telling me that that people think that I'm gay, all because I don't mess with people? I ignored that, but let me go and be honest. Thinking back now, I would have told him, "Hey, where they at though?" Because I would go at them like, "Yo, if you really want to get to fucking know me, talk to me. It ain't nothing wrong." But I think it's just a simple fact. It's because their insecurities and such. They don't like to see something because I'm different. Like, yeah, I don't mess with.
Well, that's because within the black community, we're raised like like example, my father, how he raised us to be, you can actually ask my dad how he raised us. He raised us as
I
best.
raised you military style. Yeah.
I told
I'm sorry, it's military. You gotta do right. You gotta go to school. You gotta be educated. You gotta be smart. One good thing about we lived in it was in Austin, Texas, but to me it was more like Round Rock, Texas. But they went to very good schools. And thing about Sean them, they was where we was at was mostly white people or Asian people. It wasn't really not a lot of blacks. The blacks lived over there in Austin. We lived way out north. IBM, Motorola, Intel, Hewlett Packard, places like that. So, but they went to a very good school. They were probably doing computers in kindergarten. And so, but the deal is, like you say, they got very good education. I wanted to see what they did. We went to school probably whenever we supposed to go to school, and basically it was me going to school. I worked at night, so when I got home at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, if there was something to do at the school, I was there at whatever time they told me. But I wanted to know what they was doing because, like I say, my mom didn't have I ain't gonna say a great education. She ended up getting her GED. My dad got his high school. But every generation, we should be blessed and utilize that education because the deal is, I'm blessed. Okay, me and my wife work for the federal government. His
Mm-hmm.
mom, she worked for Motorola. This was like what 35 years ago. So hell, 35 years ago, it may not be a lot of money then. It was, she was probably making 25, 30,000. I was making 45, 50,000. It was like 30 years ago. So we lived in a good neighborhood. We was blessed. But like you were saying, when, like Sean, and he might not got in that way, but when I was growing up, I ain't gonna say I was smart, but somebody must have been smart because the kids are smart. But school came easy to me.
Mhm.
I never took a book. Only reason I took a book home from school because I wasn't taking no books, no nothing. My mom used to ask me, my nickname is Libra. Libra, where your books at? Where your homework? I say, Mom, I ain't got no homework. So every day, so she would ask. So you know what? I started getting smart. For her not to ask me this, take a book and a tablet home, and she'll see that. She'll think I'm doing my homework. But the deal is, I ain't gonna say I was smart enough, but I did my homework basically before I left school. And if I did have homework, I could get through it. My last 2 years of school, 11, probably last 2.5 years of school, I got out of school at 11 o'clock. I only went to school 4 hours because
Mhm.
I was in, y'all might not have even heard of this, and I don't even know if they're doing it
Mm-hmm.
now. It was called marketing. And the other thing was called DECA, Distributed Education Clubs of America. And so I was like, I got credit for going to work and the other credit for school. So by the time I guess you still have to have so many credits graduated. So I had all my credits by the time I was in my junior year. But the deal is, I used to raise my hand in school just like you were saying, and people used to look at Henry think he's smart. I used to raise my hand, answer questions. Henry think he's smart, so I got tired of being, I ain't gonna say bullied, but people looking at you like, oh, you smart, you think you're better than everybody. I start raising my hand, and that shouldn't be like that. You understand? If I know the question, I should be proud to raise my hand and answer the question. But like I say, I was I was smart enough to understand that what, if I want to do things in life, I have to be educated. And just like when I graduated at 17, I was going to Alcorn State University down there in Mississippi, but I didn't want to go because I missed out on my scholarship. I had a half a scholarship, and I said, you know what? I want to go into the military anyway because I'm going to do ROTC. So I said, instead of going down there and getting like a half a scholarship, I'm already graduated from high school at 17, joined the military, and that was the best decision I think I ever made in my life because for the 10 years in the military, especially for the first 4 years, I was overseas, Germany, Korea, passed through Japan, over in this, over that. I saw the world.
Yeah.
But the deal is, I was smart enough to understand is learn, understand what I want to do in life, which I didn't know everything what I wanted to do in life, but also know if I was educated, that was going to be the best thing I could do in terms of what I want to try to fulfill in my life.
Before we let you go, again, once again, Dad, thank you for coming on through and like giving us your experiences and talking to us about situations that happen because it's hard, especially as a black man. It's hard, because there's so many things that you feel like you're always against the world basically. You have your own people being racist to you. You got to watch out for other people, being racist. Like I said, I'm the same person. I don't judge a person by their race. I judge them by their attitude, by their personality, by their characteristics. If you're a cool person to me, then we're cool. If you're not a cool person, then we gotta talk because that's just that's the way it should be. No one should at the end of the day be superior than the other. People want this unity, but the thing is, this unity won't ever happen because we're just so against each other at the end of the day. And I even tell my own family, and they always tell my own family even tells me that I'm white because I say, well, we could do better. We can get, it all comes down to teaching, you can't, people don't have proof. You can say like, this person, this job is racist, this person's racist. Well, what's the proof behind it? Or are you just listening to what other people have to say? Because at the end of the day, it's this hive mind mentality.
And we also seen it happening a lot, especially with a certain situation in content creation of a certain lady that got exposed so many times, but they turned blind eye until recently. So was that because she was
basically what
really
Aki's talking about is that in the online world, there was a girl who people juiced up, pepped up. Basically, she says she's a black bitch, she's this, she's that. But at the end of the day, behind closed doors, she's not the person that everyone thought she was. And at the end of the day, basically every black person that spoke out against her was called a coon, a tap dancer, Uncle Tom, stuff like that. And it was like, wow, a wow kind of situation that happened. And so go. My bad. I cut you off, but go ahead, Aki.
Yeah, so that's one thing for sure. And also, I look at the simple fact, like, why is it that everyone has one thing like, yeah, it's everyone's fault. Well, what if you ever just took a look at your damn self? Then you can figure out what the hell to do. And that's what people don't want to do because they know deep in their freaking hearts there is something up with them that need to fix. There is a problem they need to fix. So I look at the way I look at it, it's like this: like if you're gonna try to throw stones at people, make sure you are good 1st. Because let's be honest, we all have flaws and everything, but that's what's part of what make us human.
And that's why, like you got to give people time to grow. It's all growth. People got to give them time to change. You just can't sit there and you
Mhm.
know, not let people grow, because you don't let people grow, then it goes into more so into like that cancel culture situation, and you know, canceling people for things, you know, that they said like years ago, you know. And so one last question that for before we had before I let you go, what do you feel? Because what do you feel like? Do you think that us as Black folks need reparations? Because I've been seeing this going around lately.
I need April to answer that.
Uh,
Reparation. But put it like this, Sean. Put it like this. My thing is, April answered that because we hear that a lot. I'll put it like this. My reparation is getting my ass out there, screw my language, working, saving my money, and doing what I need to do. Yeah, we probably could, but I'm gonna tell you like this: the government, our government, I love America. 'Cause like I said, I spent 20 some years in the federal government, but America is only gonna do so much for you. You got to do for yourself. You know, I appreciate everything that the government has done in terms of what's going on with COVID-19, but also the government could have did more, because if you look into the fact overseas in Europe and different countries, people was getting paid $2,000 and $3,000, $4,000 a month to stay their butt at home so they would not get infected or infect other people. You know, in
Yeah.
America, when they give us money like they did, the senators and the congressmen, they act like, oh, what, should you deserve it? Why are you? And these people are making two, three, and $400,000 a year, and most of the politicians are millionaires or making very good money.
Yeah.
And my thing is, you know what? You don't want to give me money, so be it. I could care less. I ain't gonna say give it to us. The people deserve to get what we are giving, because you know what? I worked, like I told you, I worked 47 years from the time I was 12, 13 years old until I retired at 59 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So you know what? I'm not going to beg you for the money that you've given me, but you know what? I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass if I don't get it, because like I say, as Americans, our politicians supposed to be there to help us in terms of, this is something that happens every 100 years, because it just happened in terms of the 1918 to 1920. It lasted 2 years. And basically, in terms of what's going on now, we probably got, in terms of if people halfway do right, probably the next 5 to 6 months that we maybe be back to some type of normalcy. But also, this is going to be something like we do every year, take the flu shot. We're going to be taking booster shots for the next forever. But like I say, in terms of repatriation, in terms of giving something, the government not going to do it, because if we've been, the Civil War been over with for almost 60 some years, we ain't got that, 40 acres in the mule. I'm not looking for them to give me nothing. I'm not going to ask for nothing.
Yeah.
But I also want the government to take care of people. Like this time of needs right here, people need help. And if they give us more money, fine. If they don't give us no money, fine. You know what? But help the people that need help. Help the moms. Help the older people. The government has lost close to 600,000 people through this illness. And just imagine how many of those people worked all their life, probably didn't collect any type of Social Security. So why are the government bitching about whatever $1,000, $1,200? They go in the military. We go and spend thousands and millions of dollars to kill one damn person. But yet we bitch and gripe about how much we're gonna give individual people to live and to survive.
What was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask something, one more thing. But it didn't slip my mind. Dang. But does anybody in chat have any questions before I let my father go? Anybody here have any questions within the call here? I'll let y'all take some time right now before we move on to our next topic. But like I said, it's just the way how everything is going is okay. What's your question, Knight? What's your question? Let him wait. Let him type it out real quick.
Yeah.
Give him a sec. So, like I said, if anybody in chat has any questions, feel free to ask. Common sense questions.
Oh my
Oh
god!
wait,
Here we go.
which Twitter post?
Twitter post.
Which one?
Wait.
Do I know about it? Aki, what Twitter post? What?
I don't know.
Showing man ass out here. What?
Oh, that one. Well, that's the wild.
Oh,
We don't talk about that one.
that one.
We don't show that one. We're not gonna talk about that one.
That's the preview for Disparity's OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's the preview, bro. That's the preview. What you call Twilight? Twilight had challenged me on that. Okay, she challenged me. So that kind of
You kind of have to challenge yourself.
But
What y'all laughing about, Sean?
we're laughing about about what a buddy said in chat. But like I said, Dad, thank you for coming on through and coming on out and answering our questions and stuff. I appreciate it.
Okay, Father's Day coming up in what? About 3 more weeks, Sean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get something in Louisiana before I leave for Chicago. I want to make sure.
Money,
what they call that? Apps, cash apps, or whatever they call that.
Well, I believe so.
Huh? I want to know before I leave. I need this costs money. Florida costs money. Chicago costs money. And then we come to Austin about July. It costs money. So help me out, all right?
All right. So here. So I'm.
All right, y'all have a good one. I'll talk to you later, Sean. Y'all have a good one.
All right. You too.
All right.
All right. Love you. Oh man, that's funny.
Boy, crazy.
That's crazy. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and move over to our. Wait, really? You back? Is that really back?
Yeah,
Oh no. Oh, what's up, really? Welcome back. Oh yeah, let me remove him from the call. There we go. All right, there we go. So I mean, he'll be getting some money, he be getting something. Remember, I'm the son. I'm just the son here. Nah, we don't. Oh, no, he just laughed. We just got done now.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, you missed it.
Okay. Well, you recorded it, right?
Yeah, I recorded. You can watch it later. You can watch it later. So we're gonna go ahead and move over to our next topic here. Chuck E. Cheese, some Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Hey.
Chuck E. Cheese.
So in our next topic today, we're gonna be talking a little bit about. Before we hop on to the streamer Twitter, let's go ahead and talk about how do you feel about the new Twitch tags and stuff that came out today. What do y'all feel about that? So,
how do you know the tags?
So yes.
Let me say.
So I checked out the tags myself today. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the tags, I don't know. They have every tag. Like, here's the thing, which is weird to me on Twitch is that, and let me change the topic real quick. But yeah, here's the thing that's weird to me on Twitch is that people would rather have tags to identify themselves, or to the very least, yeah, I guess you could just say to identify themselves, than like actually sit back and produce content. I don't know. I feel weird about that, but how do y'all feel on that?
I'm gonna start on this. First of all, why the fuck with the tag? I seen one that women and men. What the hell? Like, I'm not feeling that shit. Like, that shit should just go ahead and just die in a goddamn dumpster fire for all I give a fuck. And that's pretty much it. And also, I just feel like people just need to learn, like, with these whole stupid narratives that's gonna be going around the last late. Like, Twitch we all know how Twitch works. They're not gonna fix the issues that make them great. Cause I'm gonna be straight honest. They keep some shit like this up, for example, in the hot tub thing, pretty much. I'm sorry, but they're gonna get dethroned. To hell, you got that. Besides Twitch, you got motherfucking YouTube as their competitors and everything and whatsoever. But it just, all I'm gonna say is like, yo, like Twitch needs to focus on the real issues that's going on, discoverability and such. But they worry about stuff like this because main ones want to have a goddamn pissing match about it. but that's not my thing. Ugh.
What? How do you feel about Waffles or Dylan? I know you, or I'm sorry, Dylan or Twilight. How do y'all both feel about that? I know you probably just noticed this today. So if y'all don't, in case y'all don't know, Twitch tags are what is used to identify yourself on Twitch. You know, whether you're what you're doing, or where your sexuality and stuff like that. But how do you guys feel about that? Because I can tell you this. Well, looking through the tags, they have like African American tag, they have black tag, they have Latino tags. But here's the thing that's missing: they don't have a Caucasian tag or a white tag. So, what do you guys think about that in your personal opinions there?
Twilight, you can go first if you want.
Um, I mean, I think the tags are good. Some people might say that there are too many or it's a lot, but I think it's better to have too many than too little and not include a certain group or community. And I think it's really good because now they have like the transgender tag, which they've been needing to do, and they have an ally tag, which I think is cool because sometimes I've seen people on Twitter not like people using certain tags just because they feel like they're a safe space or an ally. So I think that's cool.
What about you, Mr. Waffles?
I mean, with the it doesn't really bother me all that much that there's not a white or a Caucasian tag. It doesn't really bother me that much. But I'm pretty all right with the new inclusion of the tags because it feels more kind of inclusive. Like if you're wanting to find like an African American streamer and you want to support them, makes it a bit more easier to find one.
Aren't there European tags? I mean,
yeah, they have a tag I think for just about every country and stuff now, and all that. So
okay,
from
that's white. So
yeah, I feel like tags can answer repetitive first impressions questions. True, it can. It definitely can. They can also target it for harassment easier, and that's what I agree with too, because like you can literally just be like, okay, let's look for a black streamer. You get folks coming to a black streamer, you call them the N word, or Latinos call them their word, so on and so forth. And I mean, there's gonna like at this point in time, I think there's like you can't really find that middle ground. I guess there's only so as a Twitch as a platform, there's only so much that they can do in that regards, I guess. Because like at the end of the day, if you get a troll coming to your streams or whatnot, I think you just got to take care of it yourself, I guess.
And that's pretty much really what they're trying to do. Disparity. They trying to make it to where everybody's happy, but at the same time, you do have to keep your own channel secure.
Yeah.
Like I mean, at some point, it's like Twitch can't hold your hand.
Yeah.
Like and like I told several people, I really was only concerned about the tag because one, people were bitching about like blind playthroughs and stuff like that. But at the same time, you had legit people, aka trans people, who wanted their own tag, which I agree with. I understood that, and they went tooth and nail about it, and Twitch pretty much ignored that till now.
Yeah.
So I understood that, but at the same time, people need to realize too they need to be able to handle their own channel and moderate their own channel, and have people in there who they know gonna moderate their channel. It's really just that simple.
Yeah.
And also, and on the funny joking side, I'm mad I don't have my OnlyFans tag.
I mean,
oh my god,
Jesus.
well, and speaking, and we could actually talk on that a little bit too, because I think Mr. Star here, he brought it up where he believes that Twitch is coming a can site. Now, I want to say this, if y'all, I don't know if y'all have been on Twitch as long as I have. I've been on Twitch since like 2013, at least that's what my account is when I created my account. I didn't start streaming until the year after. Anywho, Twitch was, this was around the time where Justin TV was still a thing, right? And then I guess Twitch broke off. Everyone was like, "Oh, what is this new Twitch thing here? This is pretty cool. It's a, I guess you call it a safe space for primarily gamers, because that's what we had, a safe space." And so as of recent years, Justin TV, guess what? Y'all know what happened. Justin TV went down, and Twitch integrated what they had with Justin TV. And I think that's when the platform changed. Like that's when it changed for the most part, because a lot of people wanted, with a lot of people they wanted their space, to keep their space, but it wasn't going to happen, of course, because Twitch is, they want that ever revolving, they want that money feed to keep going, because if y'all don't know, it's like Twitch. I think at this point in time they're really not making money for Amazon. That's why they're like pushing for ads. That's why they let a lot of things slide. And like my problem is with Twitch is that if they would just say, "Hey, we're okay with if I'm able to take out this sexual chocolate shirt here, and show this sexy skin, if they would say they're okay with that, then I'll be all right, Twitch. I can fuck with you, Twitch. Good stuff, Twitch. Good on you, Twitch. But they don't want to outright say that because I'm like, shit, you might as well just create a Twitch after dark at this point in time. Have take my idea, get a subscription fee service, let people pay $20 a month, something of the sort, and let people do that if that's what they want to do. But Twitch, they don't want to do that because they want advertisers as well. You see, they got to take care of the advertisers, because when they hear about Twitch, how do you look for a Twitch? You hear through the word of mouth, you hear it from other people, you see it on advertisers, so on and so forth. They want to please the advertisers. And so like Twitch right now, if people, my main thing is like, if you don't like Twitch, you just got to find you have options. That's what people don't understand. So you have options. If you don't want to take those options, then that's on you. And number one, you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. But that's for a different story, though. That is for a different story. But Twilight, how do you feel about the hot tub streams or the change in meta? I guess. What do you feel about that?
That they got their own tag, or that they're allowed to stay?
They're allowed to stay, or in that too, in the text as well.
I mean, as long as they have their own tags and they're being used properly, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, because I don't personally care. You make your money. How are you going to make your money? That's what if you want to, like I said, you want to see this sexual chocolate. No, I'm just kidding. But if you want to, I guess, do your hot tub thing. I guess do your hot tub thing. It's not bothering me.
I think the biggest.
Hey,
sorry to
wait.
interrupt.
I got a question. I got a question for Twilight though. Honest opinion. Do you actually feel like that would hold you back? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. No. I just want somebody to admit that. Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
not.
if people are looking for that, then they're looking for that. It's like.
Yeah, because when it comes to content, it's about you. If you feel like a woman is taking all your viewers and stuff, then number one, you have an insecurity problem. Number two, you're putting out some shitty content, I guess.
I don't think it's the same audience, anyways. So
yeah, exactly. Like it's like you wouldn't want their audience. You want to have your own community of people that you can talk to and chill out to and stuff.
And I think the biggest controversy, or whatever, at first when it was coming out, the hot tub streams, was that Twitch wasn't like making a statement about it. They were just letting people fight amongst themselves and being ambiguous.
Well, because the main fight that people are making,
Twitch isn't just a gaming site, so that's how it is.
The main argument that people were making is that there's a couple of points that people were making. Now I'm neutral when it comes to this. Is that one of the first topics that people say that, well, Twitch is a primarily gaming site, but that changed whenever they added the IRL section, of course, and that now people are saying that, well, think about the children. Think that the children, what if a 13-year-old, an unguided, parented 13-year-old child comes on Twitch, or 14-year-old child, 15, whatever, decides to say, hey, I'm live streaming in a hot tub on Twitch, cause I think you need to be in the EULA, you have to be 13 and I think up with a parent or something like that, if I recall. I don't know the age.
I mean, aren't there, you can mark your stream mature?
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
We had this discussion, boss man. Listen, people need to stop telling these people to parent their kids for them. If they don't need to be. They shouldn't have had kids to begin with. Like, there's parental control. There's lots of ways to parent your kids from social media stuff. It's just that simple, boss.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and like I said, and I agree. That's what I said. I'm like neutral. I'm like neutral in that argument because I can see it happening. I can see it both ways. Yeah, that's why I don't put a stance on it. And yeah, y'all are right. It's not Twitch's job to parent your children. It's your job to do. You got to do that as a parent. Your parent don't want to do that, and the parent doesn't care. And at the end of the day, like I said, you need if you're in this business, anybody that's in this business as a streamer or a content creator, if you need to make that money, make that money. If you need to bust that ass on Twitch or on OnlyFans or whatever, That's what you
Mhm.
got to do, because at the end of the day, what people don't really understand is that yes, I get it. It's you want Twitch to be your gaming site, but you got to live. You can't. You At the end of the day, I'm sorry, it's gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound weird as fuck, but you can't live off nothing. Okay, if you are a content creator, especially a full-time content creator, you gotta hell. These the women are doing it on OnlyFans and men too. By the way, you got Twitch, you got YouTube. They got to have their revenue sources up. Number one, because if they don't have their revenue sources up, how are they gonna pay for the next dance? For the next camera stream. And I think the majority of people just don't really understand that at the end of the day. I mean, that's just my opinion, my personal opinion. Uh, don't make that money go. The money to make you. Really, that's the fucking quote from that movie. The Players Club. Get out of here! Get out of here!
No, but seriously,
But he's right though.
If it's not affecting you, why do you care? If it's not affecting you in your space and what you bring into the table as
Mhm.
far as your own content creator, why are you worried about it? This just goes back to just like people complaining about titty streamers and et cetera and all that stuff. It's like y'all just pretty much just put a 2021 twist on it and just decided to add hot tub streams to it. Like it's ridiculous, man. Honestly.
You're right. You're right, and it's fucking hot in here. I feel like I need to take off my shirt, but I don't know if I'm gonna. I mean, well, apparently, no joke, no cap. Apparently, guys can take out their shirts now, but it's like, again, it's about being sexually suggested, and I don't think none of this is sexy. So put it like that.
So me taking off my shirt now is not sexually suggested.
Apparently,
I can get donations to take off my shirt now.
Well, guys, I think what Twitch is going by now is that it depends on what's the context, the reason why you're taking off your shirt. Are you just taking it off to take it off, or are you just like example, like if you do the hot tubs pool stream stuff, right? You're able to have your shirt off because you're in that type of environment, and or whatnot, you know. And so I have to look more into the EULA on that, but I think that's what they said is that now you can't, because that's a recent thing. But I think at this point every guy is kind of like afraid not to do that because of course they don't know whether they're gonna get banned or not at the end of the day. And that's the thing with
if I'm getting donations to take off my shirt, I'm gonna take off my shirt. That's a legitimate reason, and I should not be banned for it. If we going by that terminology, which you just gave,
I know.
right?
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you guys like it if Disbearity? No, I'll definitely get banned. I was gonna say, would y'all like it if Disbearity took off his shirt and did jumping jacks? but no.
I'll pay you to keep your shirt on, sir. Thank you.
Oh, what?
I don't feel like watching the Ark of the Covenant. So
this guy, this guy,
face gonna be melting.
This dude here.
It's good. It's good to be back.
Now, the next topic here? It's a topic that probably hits everybody here because we're always on Twitter and stuff. How do you folks feel about the streamer Twitter? How does it feel to be on there? How does it feel to be ignored? Now, Riddler, I know you have much experience in this field of streamer Twitter. Tell me about it, Riddler. Tell me about the battlefield.
Oh, it's pretty much the battlefield of streamer Twitter is pretty much me and a bunch of shadow people who like support me from a distance and in the shadows versus partner check marks and their 3,000 to 5,000K followers. That is streamer Twitter.
Yeah.
To me.
Everyone is.
I can be right and make a whole statement and no joke, somebody with 2K plus followers can make that exact same statement, and I guarantee that tweet will damn near go viral. With guys queen and all that BS stuff that they come up with. It's been a proven fact. I will literally tweet something right now to prove that if it need be. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I see because people have all these what do you call it? I guess what do you call them? Hot takes or whatever. And you can have a good hot take, but the thing is with streamer Twitter, man, that's a weird battle. And that's the thing. I try to stay away from streamer Twitter because streamer Twitter is like the worst, especially black streamer Twitter. But that's a whole different conversation. You try to stay away from there because it can literally be mentally draining on basically Twitter in general is just mentally draining because, you know, anything on Twitter can happen, especially on streamer Twitter or whatnot. This is I'm gonna quit calling it streamer. I'm gonna call it content creation Twitter, because everybody tries. You know, everyone usually says the same thing. You know, they do the rotation. Make sure, guys, to hold your hands and kumbaya. By 1,000 likes. You know, or what's another what's another good example here? What's up?
Let me be honest with you though. To be fair, in my experience, honestly, NSFW Twitter is far better than streamer Twitter on like 1,000 cases, and that's not me being funny. That's just me being flat.
And I see it though, because I'm on NSFW Twitter with you. I like retweet half everything you like on there. So hey, so like I get it, and that's why like when they tag their cash up in their replies and their tweet gets about, yeah, dude. Like, who are you? I'm not gonna I don't know you. I'm not gonna cash app you. What?
But
yeah, it's just.
But for real though, it's a lot of ways that you can literally like eliminate half of that stuff, and I've done most of it. If you just make it to where people without profile pictures like follow or comment on your stuff, bro, I'm telling you, your Twitter would be 1,000 times easier because you do not have to see trolls. That eliminates a lot of things.
Yep.
Like seriously, doing that first step right there would save your Twitter personally a lot of trouble. They're having to deal with people, just like people that you don't want to deal with.
And that's
I ain't saying go echo chamber status and all that. I'm saying like to eliminate the annoying comments that's like absolutely pointless, et cetera, et cetera. It's one thing to get in conversation, debate, and tell somebody they just flat out wrong. It's another thing when you have to ask somebody, well, why did you even, post this on my tweet? And 9 times out of 10, most of the time, they don't even have a profile picture. They probably own some fake account or something like that they can easily just throw out and all that. That makes Twitter a lot more easy. And this is coming from somebody, y'all, mind you, viewers, that talks a lot of shit on Twitter. Mind you. Anybody can attest to that. Like, seriously. Get rid of, go into your security and just say, uncheck people who don't have profile pictures able to respond to your tweets. It's something like that. It's in them.
At night, not safe. NSFW Twitter is basically nudity, a lot of nudity. OnlyFans content, stuff like that. On that side of Twitter, and it is a better side to and trust me, that at least right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to even better myself like within the Twitter environment, just by I blocked a lot of people who are part of the Black community. Also, I blocked a lot of controversial streamer Twitters and stuff like that, because it's just the same. It's really as I've been on Twitter for the past 7 years, but as I am right now, it's just in streamer Twitter world, you see the same thing literally every 3 to 5 months. It's always the same thing, People talking drama about titty streamers, people talking drama about another person, people trying to cancel another person because this person did this person did that. And it's it's honestly, Twitter's it's good at the point where Twitter's kind of just boring, other than seeing the natural content, other than the me and Twilight challenge. And just seeing other things. It's just weird. It's just boring. I mean, granted, that's one reason why I got off Facebook, because Facebook was boring. There's literally just your family members, people doing the same thing. I guess it's just social media. I guess I just hate social media in general. I guess, but I don't know. How do you? I mean, anybody else feel the same way or whatnot, or how's that going for y'all?
Social media is a hellhole, and it shouldn't have existed in the first place.
Yeah, because that's where cancel culture came in to play. But hey,
we should have stopped at
AM. God, man, back in the days, shoot.
Wait, cancel culture? You mean accountability culture?
Oh yeah, you're right. Accountability. You're right. I'm sorry. You're 100% right. You got to keep everybody accountable. But hey, they don't want to keep themselves accountable, but you got to keep everybody else accountable though. So that's. You guys said, well, Knight, if you want me to give you some not safe for extremists, Knight, I can show you that side of Twitter, Knight. I can show you that side of Twitter if you really want to. Because, again, that side of Twitter is better. It's
don't. I don't care if you go on my page. Just don't show anything that'll get you banned, sir.
I mean, that's the thing though, Knight. Is that here's the thing. That's exactly what happened to me though. Is that I don't seek drama, but it always comes to me in some form or way. I really don't sit there and just be like, man, what's the next looking drama? I don't do that shit. But because if I'm friends with somebody or if someone says something, you know, if it's gonna somehow get back to me in some way, shape, or form. And that's the thing about just Twitter or anything in general is that if people don't know you, you know, they don't know what your opinions are, they don't know what you're about, they'll come up to you and then they'll do whatever you do, you know? Like, and that's exactly why, and I experienced that firsthand because let me tell you, back in November, you know, when a lot of people attacked me back in November, I, as a person, was my Twitter was basically all about gaming. I'll post my videos, I'll make, you know, say one or two things here and there, but in that was it, you know? And then all of a sudden, I got posted in a tag. Just because, well, I got posted in a tag, and I was guilty of association, you know? And so yeah, you can stay, you know, and that's just, and I like I said, I guess that's just if you're in that sector of Twitter, you know, just because, you know, you want to follow so many streamers, because that's the whole key word there. The key word is what is that word? Networking. That's what they want. You know, it's networking. You got to network with people. You got to get to know other people. But then, you know, when you get to know other people, it's always the wrong kind of people. And once you meet the wrong kind of people, or whatever, it's iffy. You know, it's an iffy thing. Yo, and Miss Nasty Steak, thank you for the raid. Much appreciated, much appreciated. Everybody coming from Nasty Steak Stream, welcome onto the All Out Podcast. I'm your host with Disbearity, with Mr. The Anime Waffle to my left, or on the screen to the right. Got Twilight over here, this side over here. No, we're on pointing here. We got Aki sleeping. We got Riddler doing some work. But how's it going, Stig? How are you doing today? And so, Dylan, if I recall, after the podcast today, you're streaming, right?
Yeah.
Hey, my man is streaming.
For like
hey.
my first time back because I had to like stay focused. I'm on academic probation right now, and I had to not get myself suspended for 2 semesters. I had to pretty much bust my ass on this semester, so like, had to take a hiatus.
Yeah, I feel it though. I feel it, and it's understandable, really understandable. And so we got down for our main topic. Now we're just into like our subtopics and stuff like that. And what are our subtopics here? I know Shagsworth wants to speak out. I think we can save that one for the next podcast here. So let's talk a little bit about gaming here. Okay. What are you guys most interested in, or what are you guys currently playing right now as we speak in terms of gaming? Because I could tell you for me is that we're currently right now we're playing a lot of, well, I started playing Knockout City, which is very fun. Very, very fun. So
yeah, you and everyone else was screaming while playing it last night.
Yeah, I mean, we got sweaty last night. But that's
Dude,
just,
I told you you were getting sweaty during that.
yeah, E3 is approaching, and I just read something here actually. Apparently, Uncharted 4 is coming to Steam in the near future.
Wait, what is?
Uncharted 4. It's coming to PC. So Sony,
interesting.
Yeah, so Sony, I think what they're doing as of right now is that they're slowly putting all their first party games onto like PC and stuff. So like I guess after a couple years after they released on the PS5 or PS4, they eventually come to Steam. Because apparently Returnal might be coming to Steam as well. You get the raid and run, but you gotta make some stuff. Not a problem, Nasty. Not a problem. But thank you for coming on through. Appreciate it. If you guys haven't checked out Miss Nasty Stick, go ahead and give her a follow. Show her some love. Show her some support. And we'll definitely catch you next time, Miss Stig. Definitely catch you next time. But you know, I recently just picked up this game called Warhammer. It's Warhammer 40K Stormground. I haven't been able to touch it yet because I haven't got my key yet. And like I said, I've been playing Knockout City. But what I really need to get onto, I need to get on and finish Pillars of Eternity 2. I need to really hop on. I think that should be my next game to play.
That's on my list.
Mm-hmm. Like for me, Twilight, I had that game for the past like 2 years, and it's not like it's boring. It's just I pick it up, I play it, and then I get distracted by something else.
Yeah.
And so because I get distracted pretty fast, and that's at least as of recently. And other than League, because League is kind of quit that game a little bit, but hey, What
Quit
about?
or was forced? No,
That's a yeah. You like take Dylan last night was like Waffles here was last like despair. You should take a break, bro. I was like, bro, I just got out of a 2-week break. What are you talking about?
Took a longer break, brother.
Yeah, I just got out of league
It's not
prison.
healthy. We care about you.
But
intervention for league.
man, I kind of want to play it tonight, but I
Oh.
really.
I was gonna pick up Biomutant, but I've been playing the Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne,
How is that?
or the third one.
Yeah, how
It's
is
really
that?
good.
Does it?
I think I only played the Devil Survivor and Persona series, but it's a really good game. It has like very unique like gameplay and mechanics.
Now, does it run on PC good, or does it seem sloppy? Like, how does it? I heard there was a lot of issues with the Japanese version of the game. So, what are your
Yeah, I
opinions
heard
on that?
there's something about lag, and then I looked into it, and I think it's mostly on the Switch version because I have it on Steam for my PC, and it's been running fine.
Nice. Any
Is
other
that
games?
an RPG?
Yes. Shin Megami Tensei is a lot darker than Persona. Persona's like high school, light kind of. Let's say like Persona's like high school lightheartedness, right? While
Yeah, it's not really slice of life.
yeah, well, Shin Megami Tensei's like I'm gonna murder you just for looking at you, bro. Kind of situation.
The demons literally will call me a little shit in that game. Like, you're not strong enough, you little shit. Like, that's rude.
Yeah. So what do you like? What are y'all's expectations for like E3 coming up and stuff? Like, what do y'all feel like it's gonna? What do y'all think we're gonna get?
Hellblade 2.
I say that's a stretch.
Hellblade 2.
That's a stretch.
And the new Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, because that's what's coming out this year. See, I want to get that on my I really want to get it on my PS4, but then I'm like, if it comes to PC eventually, like, can I wait for it? But I really want to get the PS5 for that experience, I guess.
I got one.
Hey, Dylan, I'm black. You shouldn't tell me that. Shouldn't tell me that.
Does that
But
have to do with anything?
well, it's in my trait that I might come over and steal something from it. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But how do you feel since you have a PS5? How do you feel about the Ratchet and Clank game? Are you gonna pick it up or anything?
Maybe. I didn't really grow up with the Ratchet and Clank games, so I may. It just depends. I mean, I still need to finish up Demon's Souls.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons. It's like the only reason why I've got a PS5 in the first place right now.
I feel it.
I need that Souls. I need that Souls fix.
What about you, brother? What are you waiting for?
You said my two, boss.
That's it.
In the new Horizon Zero Dawn, until I really actually see E3 and see what's really coming out.
Yeah.
And now since Twilight brought up that other RPG, I'm probably gonna look into that too. Like, I got a backlog. You got to realize that too.
Fact. Oh, I do. Trust me. I know. My backlog is.
Other side. My backlog on wish list is ridiculous.
Trust me, mine is too. Bro. It's quite tragic, honestly. That's why I haven't really bought a game since.
I still got to finish trying forward Twilight before she beat me up. So there's that.
Shit, I'm still finishing up on my Switch. I'm still finishing up Bravely Default, so I haven't been playing a lot of PC games lately. And once I finish that game, that's when I'm like, okay, I might go ahead and start Pillars of Eternity 2. Because then, Pathfinder, the sequel to Pathfinder, what do you call, I forgot what the sequel's called. Wrath of Righteousness is coming out sometime this year. And that's going to take up, I can already tell you, that game's going to be like another 200 hours. So that's going to take up my life right there. Cause shit, man. Cause I remember when I streamed Pathfinder Kingmaker. I feel like by the time it's one of those games where by the time you know it, all 4 hours have already gone by. Cause you've done so much gameplay, so much reading and stuff like that. Yeah, E3. See, so a lot of developers are finally coming out in E3, which is great. And I think Go ahead.
I just want the announcement for God of War Ragnarok. That's all I want.
So I feel like a lot of you guys forgot about what's that game called? Elden Ring.
Oh, that one looks cool.
Shh, we don't.
We don't talk.
We don't talk about that right now. All right. I will be amazed if they bring anything up about that fucking game. Because me and everyone else in the Souls community are just sitting there just going like day 657.
And this
shit yet.
And that's the issue what I don't like about certain game developers. I hate when they announce games before they're even finished or even like it out of the concept, you know? And it's just I get it. It's just to build up hype and stuff for people to start pre-orders and all that, but I hate it with a passion. I do. You know, I'd rather have a game be announced 3 to 6 months before it's about to come out than rather than be like a year or two. You know, because that's what happened with Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced back in 2012, 2013, right? In E3. Then it came out in 19, right? January 2019 or 18, I don't remember, one of those years. But that's what happened to Kingdom Hearts 3. And
bro, we still haven't heard anything from Dead Island 2.
Yeah. I mean, I can already tell. I think Dead Island 2 is dead, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I saw an interview with one of the heads of it. They're still working on it. They just haven't said nothing about it.
Oh, and tomorrow, by the way, for those that don't know, they're announcing the Sonic. Sonic's coming back. There's with Sega's 30th anniversary. So they're announcing something new with Sonic, and I think Sega says that they're coming out with more of their games. So they're trying to bring out more other catalogs now. Because I guess they realize that they can't. Sonic just is not going to carry them. I mean, well, it's not that Sonic's just not going to carry. It's going to carry them, but you know, Sega has more in their catalog of games. You know, so
I think the only thing carrying Sega right now is the Yakuza series. So that's about it.
Yakuza. There's a couple. There's Yakuza and Total War. Those are the main ones. Total War is the strategy game, and you know, Yakuza's Yakuza. Those are the only two that I've been seeing. Because I heard there's a rumor that they're coming out with a remake or either a remake or a new game, Jet Set Radio Future, or the sequel to it, which is nice. Oh, and also Persona. But Persona, you know, Sega had to get on Atlus's ass to start releasing PC ports. So when it comes to Persona, so I'm expecting the other games to come pretty soon. I mean, why wouldn't they eventually? You know, but Sega's one of my favorite companies because I grew up with Sega. You know, I owned a Sega Genesis, played the hell out of that Sega Genesis. You know, I love Sega. You know, I never grew up with Nintendo until like 2006. What is that? Fantasy Star Online 2. I didn't even get into that game. But it's an MMO, and my attention span for MMOs are pretty low. Like, you know, my attention span just gets smaller and smaller each time. You know. It's like really hot. But Aki, you up, Aki? Yeah, man. Just catch us some Z's, you know what I'm saying?
Man, let me tell you, it's that Memphis.
It's that Memphis. No, it's that Memphis. I'm gonna stop. But so like I said, so you said you're streaming tonight. What are you gonna be streaming, bro?
I decided to stream Wind Waker since I have that Wii U emulator running.
Ooh, Wind Waker, nice.
Yeah, because I haven't played it in a couple years, and it's one of my favorites.
Oh, Jay,
I've been on a big Zelda kick lately, just because like I've been replaying through Breath of the Wild on that emulator, and I got that thing running at like high def 2K, and it's nice.
It's nice.
It's. I mean, Guardians are still absolutely terrifying, but
I was gonna ask a question here. Oh yeah, here's our last topic of the day. How do y'all feel about the Twitch sub changes? So for those of you guys that don't know, is that Twitch is changing the way how subs work in the stream. Long story short, for what I can tell you is, streamers are going to be making lesser money, but in return, subbing the streamers is going to be a lot cheaper because what they're doing, I think what Twitch says, what they're doing is that they're converting subs to their own, instead of using American currency, it's going to be their own currency. So how do you guys feel about that? When it comes to
dollars.
Dimmer dollars.
Give me them dollars.
So they're taking even more than 50%.
Well, they said it's supposed to. We're supposed to apparently be getting more. It's really. I need to read up on it again. So what's happening is like this. So let's say in Mexico, you know you have pesos, that's the currency, right? So they're going to adjust the sub pricing. It's going to be cheaper for them because it's going to go back in their own currency. But in return, when a person subs to a streamer, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Like, so we're not. So let's say like usually we get like the 250. I think we're going to be still getting the 250 or something like that. I'm not for sure. But I know for us in America here, we always got like the 250, or we actually got less than that, to be honest with you. I think they take like something extra, if I recall. I think we get like $2.13 instead of 250. I don't know, but I need to look more into that. But what's going on, Jay? How's it going, bro? We started the main podcast, well, the main topic with my father earlier. That was the first thing we started with. So I might have to run back that with you at a later day if you want to listen through it. Well, of course we're gonna. And by the way, the podcast guys will be on Spotify. So keep that in mind, y'all. You guys will see it on Spotify. And also, the podcast does have we do have a Twitter account for the podcast. So if you guys haven't already, definitely check out the Twitter for the podcast. That's where you guys could finally, you know. Yeah. So before we're gonna I think that's all that we have for today, because like the last topic we're gonna actually save that for Mr. Shagsworth, because he wasn't sadly Shagsworth and Clad weren't able to make it with us today. So we're gonna have the next one for the next topic for next time. So here are the plans here. I can tell you guys about the podcast and stuff. So how the podcast is going to go in the future, by the way, is that we're at episode 6 or whatnot. Okay. So once episode 10 happens, that's when it's going to be basically the season 2. Okay. Or that's when that's gonna end season 1. So you guys can always catch all season 1 at the end of the podcast, at the end of the on Spotify and stuff. Season 2, what's going to happen is that we're going to be taking a break about a month, maybe 2 months break from the podcast, and we're going to come back and convene, come back with a lot of changes and stuff. And so I'll tell Twilight to smile, please. Oh.
There it is.
Yeah, and so that's what's gonna happen is that I have some big plans here, and once season 2 happens, by the way, as well, that's when we're actually gonna be putting it on other people's channels to help get them more exposure and stuff, to let you guys see what it's like to be in their neck of the woods, in their neighborhood, and with their communities and stuff. So that's the plans here. But today was, honestly, I enjoyed myself today. I don't know about you guys. It was a fun podcast today. It really was. How did you guys feel about it today?
I thought it was good.
It's good to be back.
Real eye-opener. Real.
On the real. And like I said, it was good. Go ahead.
Your father did it for me.
No, and I'll let him know that you said that too. Cause I think he enjoyed it. Honestly, I think he enjoyed himself more than anything, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be straight up honest. Aki sleeping again? Yeah. Yes, he is. Y'all know Aki. Aki, he don't go to sleep at all. The man that don't go to sleep. How do I get sleep? And I stay up until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. But Aki over here, you know what? I guess it's just work. But do you guys have anything last to say before we end it here? And Deadly, if you want to start your stream, you definitely can do that, by the way, if you want to. So we can go ahead.
I already have.
Oh, you already have? Oh.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know this, Mr. The Anime Waffle is also going to be streaming, by the way. And so before we head out here, Jay, can you help me get out some shout-outs, Jay? To the lovely folks here real quick before we head out. Let's go ahead and get Twilight one. Go ahead and give Mr. Dark Riddler his shout-out. If I can spell. Because Jay, I know you've been a very busy man today with work and stuff. But I appreciate you. And also, Jay, pick up Knockout City, bro. You like it. So all these people who are shouting out, y'all, definitely go ahead and give them a follow. Show them some love. Show them some support. They're great folks, great people. And once again, though, thank y'all. Let me go ahead and get Maj and Sean shout out SO as well. I saw him, he was in chat. Go ahead and show some love there. But Alexa, today was a fun podcast, and I appreciate all you guys who came on through, podcast members and people, and I appreciate people that could make it, that didn't make it. I thank y'all again. I just said duty calls elsewhere, and I appreciate y'all for letting me know. But today was, like I said, today was a fun day, and I thank y'all 100%, y'all. Real talk.
Hey, hold on, Knight said, how about a podcast for E3 and or Summer Games Fest?
Summer Games. Actually, that's actually quite. Let me look at the schedule here. Yeah, we can do that. Oh yeah, y'all want to do? Y'all definitely want to do that. When does E3 start? I think it starts on the Sunday, but if y'all want to like convene on like, I don't know, between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday or something like that, I guess we could talk between the group. We can definitely do that. I mean, it's up to you guys if y'all have the time.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it should be fine for me.
Mm-hmm.
Since I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday mornings.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we could definitely do that though. All right, cool. All right, so I'll let everybody else know, or we can let everybody else know from the podcast chat and stuff. Let them know. But let's go ahead and end this sucker. But like I said, thank y'all for all coming on through. You guys are great folks. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you guys have a great night. Sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. Have a good one, and we'll definitely see y'all soon. Get ready, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and rate our boy the Anime Waffle while he streams some Wind Waker. So
yeah.
Peace out.
It's gonna take a second. I'm gonna take a little break, get something to drink before we start it all up. But yeah, so if you guys stick around and hang out, shoot the shit. Let's get into some Wind Waker shenanigans. I'm gonna throw bombs at people. I don't know.
Throw bombs at people.
I'm gonna become a butt pirate. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hell yeah, partner. Hell to fucking yeah. But like I said, you guys have a good one. Make sure that catch the podcast on Spotify, and also follow the Twitter if you already haven't. Peace out. Much love, everybody. See y'all next time.